Okay, so in the recent months, I have been venturing in, or aspiring, or like whatever the word may be. I have been doing this with freelance photography mostly. I want to get into videography soon enough, but mostly photography for now, like just to build a brand and market myself. So I've been doing free photo shoots. I have made a couple of past videos about how I take these photos, the photo shoots, like after I edit them and things like that. So pretty much the goal with these videos is to build a playlist. I have been organizing my channel in playlists of different topics and things like that because I wanted it to be more accessible to you guys and I wanted it to look better. So this is one of the few of those freelance type videos which will continue coming as I continue making these videos, as I continue building this brand and business. So in this last freelancing video with Saul, I talk about the negative space that I use and how I want to capitalize on that kind of composition and how it fits within the Adaptation Creations brand. During this new photo shoot that I went on, which is my favorite of all time because these shots, wow. I'm surprised that I was able to get these, honestly. I like the kind of negative space. I love rule of thirds. I think they make your photos look amazing, and even adding a slight kind of vintage vibe to that is even better. And that is what I did in the editing for these new photos that I will pop up on the screen now. But let me tell you guys about the journey to get these real quick. So the young woman in this shoot is actually one of my old friends from high school. When I was a senior, she was a freshman, which is like, I'm 22 now, so you get it. And she asked how old I was, so that was funny to get her reaction because we forgot for a second. Anyways, she is one of the people that I offered a photo shoot to, and I'm glad that I did. Well, let me get on with this, but pretty much the time that we had scheduled didn't work at first, but the next day did. But the next day, I was still working on a lot of this video stuff, and I was like, damn, I mean, I really want to take these photos with you and for you, but I don't know if I'll finish this in time to go and do that other work. But I did, and it was kind of at the last second because she was already texting me saying that she was on her way to the location, and I was still trying to get finished with this, well, finishing up at least. This is a pretty known location in our city because it is the older town version of like 50 years back when this city wasn't as big as it was. Basically, how I run these photo shoots, or how I'm trying to run them, is just hanging out with people, becoming friends with them, or just hanging out with friends, and just chilling for a little while and taking photos along the way. I don't really like going straight up to like an appointment or scheduling something very specific, being very professional about it. It makes me uncomfortable. That's how we did this. Just friends talking, getting to catch up, I guess you could say. During that time, I was thinking to myself, well, I need to do 3 things. I need to stay within Adaptation Creations brand. I need to get photos that I really like, and I need to get photos that she really likes. So I tried doing all of that stuff with being original in my own kind of creativity and style, and I got these kinds of angles. Altogether, I probably took like 600, 700 pictures. 700 might be pushing it, it might be 600, but I ended up with like 50 that we were able to use. Pictures that were clear enough and in focus enough and went within brand and were just enjoyable. Okay, well actually, before we move on and before I forget to ask you guys, if you could please leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Personally, I didn't even think I'd be able to get these kinds of photos. As I was editing these, they were all kind of very yellow because of the lights that were around. And I noticed that when I color corrected these, which means that I basically made them to where it looks like natural lighting, a natural white light on someone. Like this one. I got all of these pictures to that point in editing, and then I noticed, this background kind of looks older. And with that, a lot of these pictures also had a lot of blues in them, so I brought up the cyan kind of shades within the highlights, shadows, and that really helped bring it out into a kind of vintage modern vibe. That's what someone will call it exactly on Facebook, whose name is Kat, and you might be watching this, but that's what I'm calling it now because I was like, that's what this is. Before I was calling it modern 80s, and I think both work. I just went with 80s because this one really looks 80s to me. But I love that about all of these pictures, and 2 of my favorites, or well, 3 of my all-time favorites for this photo shoot are the one where it's aiming from the bottom up to her and it gives her like that power and that angle with the neon light. Oh my gosh, that shot is just awesome. And this one with the black and white tiles. I took a few different angles of this shot actually because they all give me a different vibe. But in the end, this one came out and it was my favorite. This is probably one of my all-time favorite shots as well. I just love how the contrast of tiles against what she's wearing, the pose, how she has like this kind of serious impression. I don't know, man, like all of this freelance and branding stuff is getting really fun, and I didn't really even think that I could attempt this photography thing, but it's working out so far. So that says a lot for you guys that want to start as well. And if you don't know where to start, literally just go back to the first video that I made for this. Like, I didn't explain any of this kind of stuff. I was just going with the flow, and now we're kind of getting somewhere. So if you want to learn along the way, as I am with building this photography side of this brand, then yeah, follow along. With that being said, I'll end this video here. I hope you guys are still enjoying these freelance videos. I think they do kind of well. Yeah, other than that, I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.